Welcome to Mostly True Stories with Dr. Juan Harrison, a series of feel-good, faith-based short stories from a Texan's perspective. Now here's Dr. Juan Harrison with today's story. Please enjoy.
Tim McGraw had a really great song called Always Be Humble and Kind. No one has to tell you how hard it is to do that. Lubbock's own Mac Davis used to strut around in tight jeans singing, "Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way." Humility is almost impossible to maintain while living in isolation from others. Even the monks and the nuns have somebody to appropriately help them keep themselves humble. Since I had no inclination to live a cloistered life, I tried to do the next best thing. I found by getting involved with others, especially those operating under the umbrella of an organized faith or a spiritual foundation, where I could serve others and be around people to help keep me in line. At Texas Tech, I found support at the Baptist Student Union, in my college department at First Baptist Lubbock, and more individually through Campus Crusade for Christ out of Colorado Springs. My buddy and I at Tech routinely visited other colleges in places like Odessa and Canyon to interact with and encourage other college students. The military was instrumental in putting me on the Canadian border, where I got to be a part of the Billy Graham Crusade, serve as a counselor for them at Marquette. While there, I got to help build a new church building in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, complete with numb fingers and toes as the cold air blew in off Lake Superior. Its waters were so cold we lost a B-52 crew patrolling against Russian intrusion in those icy waters that don't yield up any bodies. Speaking of bodies, I found a few there. While I spent my spare time trout and salmon fishing and dipping smelt and ice fishing and skiing and snowshoeing, playing ball for the Air Force, other airmen chose not to do anything but dope. The long winters of isolation created more than a few addicts. I put on an additional duty of drug prevention officer as we tried to salvage addicts before the military kicked them out to survive or die in the real world. Europe and the Middle East were exciting times for a single guy. I served as the youth pastor for Hahn Baptist Church in Germany and sponsored youth trips to Paris, Spain, Austria, Switzerland with the AYA, the American Youth Association Youth Center, on base. A friend of mine helped us form a worship group that met in the meadows in the shadow of old castles in the Rhine Valley. In town, we found an old house and added bunks for 30 people. It became our outreach to the heroin addicts and hash smokers who wanted to get off the stuff. I made frequent friends with the grocery sackers at our military commissary there on the base. They were known as navigators out of Colorado. Once discharged from the military, they stayed in Germany to share a house and minister one-on-one to young Christians. They were kind enough to take me in and spend time helping reinforce my faith. What I've discovered is that if you look for something, you will find it. I sought people who could help me stay grounded and make a difference in people's lives. It really is true. Seek and you shall find. Time is short. Paul's admonition is even more relevant today than ever. In Ephesians 5:16, he admonishes us, redeeming the time because the days are evil. This is Dr. Juan Harrison, and this has been a selection from my series, The Mostly True Stories of Dr. Juan Harrison. Find me on Facebook and my books on Amazon.com.